But a motor in and of itself will not work because the motor will require some fuel. So what I want to do, I'm going to come over here to the second tab, the propulsion tab. And the propulsion tab has two things in it. It has engines, which use fuel, and it has fuel tanks, which hold fuel. Those things are important for making rockets go. Those things are important for... Hickeys for control were pretty important. Wait, what? A big rocket. Fill the Mark II box. That's what I'm going to do, Mayor of Space. That's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do. So, what I need to do on the second tab here, I'm going to go and pick me some parts. I'm just going to start. I'm going to like put that part on there. I'm going to put that part on there. And I think I will go ahead and launch this thing, I guess. Yeah, let's launch this thing. Kamuchi, thank you so much for doing that. I apologize we didn't talk about that in advance. It was just kind of a last-minute thing that I thought of. But thank you so much, Kamuchi. Folks, give Kamuchi some serious props, because Kamuchi has donated copies of Kerbal Space Program for the stream today. Thank you so much, Kamuchi. Y'all should give Kamuchi some serious props, because Kamuchi has donated and just delivered the first code from the first giveaway. Kamuchi, thank you so much. I really do appreciate you. I really do appreciate you. Alright. What I'm going to do, Mysterious Mage, I saw your comment. I'm going to handle that in a minute. I'm going to handle that in a minute when I show why I need this. Let me go ahead and launch this rocket. Let's see what happens. I'm just going to launch it. I mean, it looks like a rocket, right? It should go to space. I don't know. Should it go to space? It should probably go to space. Let's pull that up like that. Okay, good. Let's put a cadet in here. Let's just put one cadet in here. Let's go ahead and get Jeb out. And the cadet who will be... Nice high five. Alright. Let's see here. The cadet who will be doing this is going to be... And the winner is... the Mayor of Space. That's interesting. You win. There it is. I didn't see it. It went before the actual Nightbot thing came up. The Mayor of Space is going to be the Kerbal. The Mayor of Space is going to be the Kerbal here. So let's go ahead and... This is a mod that I have. This just allows me to create custom Kerbals. It is called Kerbal Crew Manifest. There you go, Mayor of Space. Get in the pod. I'm not going to fill up the rest of it for now. Let's just go ahead and do this. So I've got fuel. DOS is like, dude, you need fuel, so I put fuel in it. And then I have an engine, and DOS is like, dude, you need an engine, and so I put an engine on it. And I've got a way to control the rocket. DOS said, dude, you need a command pod, and so I have a command pod with a Kerbal in it, right? All of these things I have. So let's go ahead and launch this rocket. If you didn't know, in Kerbal Space Program, when you want to go to space, you actually press the space bar. I'm just going to pause for a minute to let that sink in. When you want to go to space, you press the space bar. So my favorite thing to do is say 3, 2, 1 space, and 3, 2, 1 space will actually light the engine. Now this looks great. We're going up. Space is up, right? Space is totally up. I want to go to space. That means I want to go up. That sounds good. This is actually looking pretty good. Mayor of Space is about to be the actual Mayor of Space installed into space. Look at those awesome looking Mach effects, man. Wow. I'm going so fast into space that I've got, like, sonic boom happening next to my rocket. That looks amazing. That looks amazing. Please don't run out of fuel before you get shock heating. Please don't run out of fuel before you get shock heating. Oh, yeah. There we got a little... Look at this. This looks great. Look how great that... Wait a second. That didn't look too great. My engine just died. Well, I mean, it looks like I'm in space, right? I'm totally in space. There's stars. I'm above the clouds. That's got to be space, right? In Kerbal Space Program, that doesn't actually count as space. In Kerbal Space Program, to be in space, you need to get... You could partner with Twitch in 724,000 years. Nice, Kamuchi. What you need to do in Kerbal Space Program, you need to get to an altitude of greater than 70,000 meters. Yes, the people in chat will say, no, DOS, it's actually 69,500 blah, blah, blah meters. In Kerbal Space Program, to get to space, you have to get to 70,000 meters. You have to get to 70,000 meters. I can actually press the M key to come and look at the map just like I did before, and I can see the highest point in this arc. Here, I'll flip it for you. The highest point, and I'll do it like this. There we go. That's probably the right way to look at it. The highest point in this arc is only going to be 32,000 meters. We clearly did not have enough fuel. We didn't have enough go. We weren't able to get this rocket into space. That's a huge problem. That's a huge problem. and I'm going to land in the ocean. This Kerbal's dead. This Kerbal's donezo. What did you need? I don't know what you're talking about there, Krylon Rock. I don't know what you're talking about. You're wrong. It's 69,998 meters. Sometimes you just got to do it. So that right there, not technically space. That is the upper atmosphere. That's actually the middle atmosphere. But that right there does not count as space in Kerbal Space Program. The problem is that now we are falling back towards the planet. We are totally falling back towards the planet. That is not getting me into space. I am falling back towards the planet. Mayor of Space, I mean, here in the pod, Mayor of Space is wondering, he thinks he's in space. I don't know, look. It kind of looks like space. I can see, uh-oh, I'm falling back through the clouds. This does not look very spacey to me. I think I'm severely lacking in space. I'm not having enough space here. Maybe we should fix that. I am falling down. Can you see the lights of the runway? I don't see the lights of the runway. Where are we falling at? Where is the runway? I think I'm falling into the ocean. The cloud layer is keeping me from seeing it. You won't have the clouds in the stock game. I just do it because it's pretty. It's just a pretty mod. It's a Fashion Academy mod sort of deal. Mayor of Space has begun to realize his situation here. Mayor of Space has totally begun to realize his situation. Let's see. I don't know. Oh, we're missing the KSC. I don't know what we can do. I don't know what we can do. They can squint. They can squint, Mysterious Mage. They're squinting. Maybe he should just, I don't know, jump out of this rocket right quick. Yes, that looks good. Oh my gosh, he hit the side of the rocket. Mayor of Space. This is not space. This is totally not space. This actually looks like you're about to be the Mayor of the Kraken. You've been claimed by the Kraken, Mayor of Space. Oh, and the rocket crashed right next to us. This was an assassination attempt on the Mayor of Space. Oh my gosh. The good news is, in the world of Kerbal Space Academy, there are many copies of my Kerbals. There are many copies. They don't really have a plan. They just keep dying. But there are many copies of my Kerbals. And if we go back to the Space Center, we can actually resurrect the Mayor of Space. Let me just put a ship back out there on the pad. We can actually resurrect the Mayor of Space using our technology. He will wake up in a vat of oatmeal with some bad memories of crashing into the ocean. But this mod actually allows me to resurrect Mayor of Space. He is back in action. We could put him right back into that pod. And Mayor of Space, congratulations. You're like number 80, 86 or something. I don't know what number you are. I don't know what number you are. But the Mayor is totally a clone. You're right, Platypus. You should be enraged about that because the Mayor is totally a clone. Malice raid! Dude, Malice, where is Malice at? Malice, man, what's going on? Thanks for the raid over here at Boot Camp. We're doing Boot Camp today. We're teaching people to go into space. We've just learned that if you don't have enough fuel to get into space, you're not going to space. We just learned that today. Dude, Malice Draco, thank you so much for that raid. Where are you at? Has Malice actually said anything? I don't actually see Malice saying anything. Say something in chat for me, guys. Folks, Malice Draco is another streamer who streams KSP. He's a great streamer. You should... There he is right there. If you want to watch somebody who builds some crazy ships, you should totally follow Malice Draco right there. Malice, dude, thank you for the raid so much. Malice does some crazy ships. I keep it simple over here at Boot Camp so people can learn. Malice does some crazy things. Malice does some crazy things. Dude, Malice, again, thank you for the raid. Moving right along. There you go. Twitch, Malice Draco. Thank you again, Malice. So, we've got Mayor Space back in the pod. Everything's good to go. He's clapping. Look, he's ready to go again. He's ready to go again. Does your clone share your same spirit soul? Well, we download them to the resurrection. There's actually a building underneath the VAB that's the resurrection building, and they wake up in a vat of goo, and they like start breathing hard like that, and all the other Kerbals are around them, like comforting them. You know, that's kind of what happens in my world. JRB, yes, I remember you. All right. So this is clearly not a solution for us. This is clearly not a solution for us. We can come over here. Oops. What I want to do... there we go. I'm just going to go ahead and recover the vessel. Foxy the Fox, thank you for the follow. Harmy1980 and Renats MC. Guys, thank y'all for the follow. I totally appreciate y'all. So, what we can do is go back to the VAB and let us begin to add some more fuel to this. We ran out of fuel, right? Clearly, we just need to add more fuel. That's all we need to do. Let's just add more fuel to the rocket. So I'm going to come over here. I'm going to get another fuel tank. I'm going to add it to that. I'm going to put it there. And let's see how this goes. Let's go launch this rocket. Let's see what happens. Maybe we can solve this a little bit here. Maybe we can solve this and see if we can't put a stack decoupler in here so we don't kill Mayor this time. Let's put a big old beefy stack decoupler in. And then let's put a lot of chutes maybe. Let's put some chutes on there. There's a little chute. Yep, okay. And then where are the other chutes? Dude, Loa M, thanks for the follow. Appreciate you enrolling in Kerbal Space Academy. I'm Das Valdez. We are going to space today. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. We haven't gotten there yet. So I'm just going to spam some chutes on there. Again, these are just parts that I am putting on. That looks like enough. I hope that that's not done. But let's go ahead. Battlescar Graph. Yes, thank you. Yes, that is a... Thank you. Somebody finally got their reference. Soul, not soul, whatever, guys. It's a Cylon reference. It's a BSG reference. Come on, come on. So let's say we're going to launch this rocket to get it to space. So we put more fuel in it. We've doubled the amount of fuel. That sounds great, right? Ooh, more fuel. That's great. Let's launch this and see if we can get this rocket into space. So I'm just going to launch it. I'm just going to launch it. We can still fly. Nice. Oh my gosh. So there's what we've got. We've got a big mainsail engine. We've got 2 of the tanks. We've got 2 of those double-sized tanks. We've got a stack decoupler. We've got pods. We've got another pod on top. So say we all. So say we all is right. We've got some chutes. Hopefully Mayor of Space should be good this time. Let's see here. Let's see here. So you can you not launch from the cockpit? You should be able to. You should be able to. Here's what we're going to do. Folks, remember, asking to be a Kerbal does not help. Asking to be a Kerbal does not help. I completely do it randomly. Now that we have another one, let's get another Kerbal to put in the pod. Gav! Gav is one of the mods. Oh my gosh. A Mysterious Mage. I'm going to get to it. I'm going to get to it. One thing at a time. Gav is a winner. Winner. Dude, rigged. Gav, congratulations. Actually, apparently, we're going to put an instructor in the pod this time. Gav is one of my mods, and we're going to put an instructor in the pod. Let's go to the crew roster. Mayor of Space, get in the top. Let's actually have the instructor. Let's have the instructor, Gav, here. There you go. And yeah, I don't know, Gav. I've hung out with you enough to know you're probably about that. We'll give you a bad DOS tag because you're one of my mods. And we will put you into the Mark II command pod. So now we've got the instructor flying shotgun. And we've got the actual cadet up at the top of the pod, Mayor of Space. Moving right along. Let's launch this one and see if it goes to space. Let's launch this one and see if it goes to space. I am going to go ahead and throttle the rocket up, which means hold down the shift key. You see how I do that? I can, right here shows me my current throttle. I can hold down control, that throttles me down. I can hold down shift, that throttles me up. Another thing that I can do is press Z, that will send me to full throttle, and I can press X, which sends me to 0 throttle. So Z is full throttle, X is 0 throttle. Sorry, yeah, I said that right. Shift will slightly throttle me up. Probably about that. Control will throttle me down. I'm going to put this rocket at full throttle. The next thing that I want to do to launch the rocket, I'm going to turn on something called SAS, the Sickness Avoidance System, the Stability Augmentation System, the Spin Auto Stabilizer, whatever you want to call it, it's SAS. You can actually press the T key on your keyboard, and that will engage SAS. SAS attempts to keep the rocket pointing in the direction that you already have the rocket pointing. If it can, it doesn't mean it's going to do it, but it's going to use all of the control that you've put in the craft in order to attempt to keep it pointing the same way. The last thing that I'm going to do is click on this little fuel can up here. We've got 40 units of monoprop. We didn't need that at all. I'm going to click on this little fuel can up here. That's going to show me all of the resources in my craft. You can see I've got liquid fuel, I've got oxidizer, talk about that in a second. Monoprop, electric charge, panel lock. So what I do, I say throttle up, which means press Z. I say panel lock, which means click up there. And I say SAS engage, which means press T. That's how I do my pre-launch checklist. Throttle up, panel lock, SAS engage. Then I say 3, 2, 1. Space. And I press the space bar, because when you want to go to space, you press the space bar. That's kind of how it works, right? That's kind of how it works. Ah, yes. Drink, Dodge, drink. I hope I have instructor pedals. I don't know, Gav. Let's go look. I don't see any pedals. I'm not seeing any pedals down there. I'm looking and I'm not seeing any pedals. You do have some controls. You're looking at nothing in the pod. You're not even in one of the top seats with the windows. This is definitely the instructor. This is definitely the instructor key. Mysterious Mage, send me a message about that. Could you, Mage? You're right. I do need to edit that since I've begun doing that. But I do need to edit that. If you could send me a message, that'll help me remember to do it after the stream. So I'm gonna do the same thing I did last time. I'm gonna go up. I'm gonna turn. I'm gonna start to lean to the east. Right? I'm gonna lean to the east. I'm not gonna go like this. That's not how it works. I actually want a little bit of a curve. The smoother the curve, the more realistic it is. There we've got that shock heating again. There we've got the shock heating, but I'm just gonna go ahead and turn to the east like this. This is looking good so far. Uh-oh. My fuel gauge is running out with the quickness. I wonder how high I'm going to get this time. I am now out of fuel. That is not a great thing. I'm totally out of fuel now. I'm totally out of fuel. I think what I want to do is go ahead and disconnect. I'm just going to right-click on this guy and go disconnect. And that's going to pop my pod off of the top of it like that. So we've got that going for us. At least we don't have that, and we have a bunch of chutes, and we've got Gav the instructor and Mayor of Space the cadet in the pod. Let's see what our apoapse is. Let's see how high we got that time. Wow, okay, that looks a lot better. Okay, we actually got up to 184. So instead of 32, putting more fuel in the rocket got us up to 184. That's actually great. The problem is, now I don't have any way to make the craft start missing the planet. I don't have a way to do it. I can't get up here. Well, I could get out and push. You actually could get out and push. But even if I got all the way up here to the top of the rocket, or to the top of the trajectory, to the apoapse, even if I had the cadet get out, let go of the rocket, turn on his RCS, and start to push the rocket. Let's see here. This is totally a thing, by the way. Even if he got out, got underneath it, and started to push. Oof. Whoa. He's not very good at pushing the rocket, I guess. Come on. Come on. Push the rocket, cadet. Push the rocket. Oof. Okay, it's actually difficult to push the rocket that way. I guess he just has to push it with his head. Let's see here. Let's try to push it. Okay, push! Push, cadet! Push! Push as hard as you can! He's loving it! He's loving it! Look at him! He's like, I'm going to space! I'm totally going to space! I'm out of fuel. Even if I did this, I would not be able to get this rocket into an orbit. Into an orbit. It's advanced strats you're going into here, right? It's totally advanced strats. That is not the way that we get to space. So we've been playing around. We've been following the scientific method. We've been guest testing and revising. We knew some information. We knew that we needed a pod. We knew that we needed fuel. We knew that we needed an engine. And we've been kind of discovering things here, right? It hasn't been working for us very well. We've been guest testing and revising. We could continue to guest test and revise. Dude, Milan Malina 01, thank you for the follow. I appreciate you. Welcome to Kerbal Space Academy. We've been guest testing and revising. We've been following the scientific method. We took our basic understanding of the situation and we played around with it. Could we continue to do that? Yes. We could continue to play around with this game and see, without knowing what's going on, keep adding fuel, keep trying to fly a different way. We could spend a lot of time. Das, he got +1 biceps. He gained experience. He leveled up his strength by trying to push the pod. What we can do, instead of continuing to guest test and revise, we can actually use a bit more information to come up with our theory, to come up with the craft design. The stock game doesn't actually, you see where this is going? The stock game doesn't actually tell you a lot of the information that you really have to understand in order to build these rockets. The stock game kind of leaves you on the path of guest testing and revising forever until you figure it out. There is a better way. There is a better way to learn this game. I know it's frustrating because there's sometimes you might not actually get to the solution. You might guest test and revise so many times you get more frustrated than it's really worth. There is a better way. There is a better way to do this. And what I want you to do is install a mod. There is a mod in the game called Kerbal Engineer. It's made by Cybertech. Cybertech is an awesome guy. But the mod Kerbal Engineer goes ahead and pulls back the curtain on all of the numbers that the game is actually using. It's got amount of thrust, but we can't see it. It's got an amount of what's called delta V, but the game doesn't tell us. It's got the proper trajectory, but the game has no clue. The game uses all of these numbers, but it keeps them hidden behind the curtains, under the covers, in the dark. It doesn't show you the things that you need to know in order to actually design the rocket. You've got to keep guest testing and revising. You can fix it, though. You can fix it. You can totally install a mod called Kerbal Engineer, and the mod looks like this. That right there is Kerbal Flight Engineer, made by Cybertech. Totally awesome guy. It tells me all sorts of information about the craft. Right now, with this craft, you can see that the meters per second of delta V is 0. That is telling me that I don't have any engines, I don't have any fuel, there's nothing that I can do. There's nothing that I can do. It's telling me the mass of the craft, my thrust to weight. My thrust to weight is 0.0 because I have no engines. I can't accelerate. I can't fly this craft at all because I have no engines and I have no fuel. It's telling me all sorts of useful information. It's going to tell me my vertical speed. I've actually got it up here. My vertical speed, I am dropping at almost a kilometer per second. It's going to tell me my horizontal speed. It's going to tell me what biome, what type of terrain I'm over. It's going to tell me how long till impact. That's not exactly right because we're going to hit the atmosphere here. But there are so many things that Kerbal Engineer shows you that will help you learn to play this game. So what I'm going to do, there we go, look at that, sonic boom right there. Let's get these guys recovered. Let's go show you Kerbal Engineer in the VAB, and then I'm going to show you how to actually download and install this mod. I'm going to stream it. I'm going to stream my Windows folders. I'm going to show you how to download and install the mod. Look at this, we're just off the side of the music, but not your beautiful voice. It's all streamed on the same channel. That doesn't make any sense, unless I'm only streaming on the right or left channel. The other mod that's not channel. Igor, I teach with this mod. This is the mod that I teach with. I don't talk about the other mods here. There are other mods that you can download, but I teach with this one to keep people straight. It's my channel. I can teach with whatever one I want. But let's go ahead and pop the chutes. I don't want to confuse people. There are multiple mods that you can choose from. I need a drink. There are multiple mods you can choose from. The best one out there is Kerbal Engineer, in my opinion. Thank you, Mysterious Mage. I appreciate it. The best one out there is Kerbal Engineer because it's simple, it's easy to learn, it gives you the numbers. That's what I teach with. So let's not get into any debates about that. Let's see here. Let's see here. We will continue going on down. We are going to land. It looks like we're going to be landing at a safe rate. That's good. That's good. I hate how time warp affects the craft. Nice. Nice. Let's just go ahead and time warp on down. It looks like Gav, the Mayor of Space, has successfully made it. Back to the surface of the cursive. Alright, there we go. 90, 80, 70, 60, 50, 40, 30. There you go. 10. And we've got successful splashdown. Wow. I hope this thing rolls on its side or something. That's not good because one of our doors is oriented this way and the other door is oriented this way. We've got one Kerbal in each pod. We're going to have to come up with a very creative way of doing this. We're going to come up with a very creative way of doing this. Anyways, what we're going to do here, is, excuse me. What we're going to do here is go ahead and recover this vessel. Let's go back into the VAB and look at Kerbal Engineer. Mysterious Mage, that's actually not true. I made Cybertech a mod so that I can see him when he comes into my channel. It's the only way I have to put a special little icon next to his name. I was using Kerbal Engineer and teaching with Kerbal Engineer for a long time before Cybertech ever showed up in my channel. When Kerbal holds his breath. So over here in the VAB, I've actually got the Kerbal Engineer interface. It looks a little different over here in the VAB. But you can see that it is telling me a couple different things about my rocket. It's telling me that I have at least this much delta V and this much thrust to weight. What are those two things? Well, let's get the mod installed first, and then I'll talk to you about the delta V and thrust to weight. I know, looking at this rocket, looking at Engineer right now, that this rocket is not capable of going to space. Not capable of going to space. I'm just not going to get into a debate about that stuff. I'm just not going to get into a debate about that. Let's just keep on going. Let's just keep on going with Kerbal Engineer here and Boot Camp. I'm not going to get into a debate about it. So, Kerbal Engineer shows me a couple different things here. It shows me that I've got 3444 delta V. I know that if that number right there is not at least 4,000, this rocket is not space capable. I don't have to keep guess testing or revising. I can just look at this number right here and say, wow, 3444 Delta V, that's not enough. Let's go install the mod. We're going to come back to here. We're going to talk about what thrust weight is. We're going to talk about what Delta V is. I'm going to explain those for you. But first, for people that are new to the game, or people who are just getting the game, or people who want to get the game, let me show you how to go ahead and demo, get this mod installed. Get the mod installed. Moving right along. I am actually going to have to quit the game. I'm going to have to quit the game, so let's do that right quick. I am going to go ahead and quit the game. If you need to know how mods installs, Two guys from PA, thank you for the follow. Two guys, I appreciate you. Welcome to Kerbal Boot Camp, learning to go to space. We're learning to install mods right now. Let me go ahead and quit the game. It was me, Vesuvius, it was me. I was the one that clicked on that. Let's keep on going. I'm gonna go ahead and quit out of the game because it just always gets out of hand. It just gets out of hand. People can't talk about it, and I know some people can talk about it, but other people can't talk about it. It's not anything personal. It was like a 1-second thing. It was just one comment. I just don't want to get into it. Let us continue along here. Let us continue along. I have closed my game down. That's why we have the broken screen here behind me. Alright. Squirrel Netty, I am going to explain. I am totally going to explain what Delta V is. But let's go ahead. The Stealth DJ. You're not very stealthy, my good friend, because I just saw your name at the top of my screen. Thank you for the follow. Welcome to Kerbal Boot Camp. What I'm going to do, let me go ahead and stream my desktop. Let me go ahead and open this up right now. Yeah, let's stream the desktop. Where's it at? There we go. Monitor capture. Is this the right monitor? It is. Excellent. All right. So what I'm going to do, I am going to go out to the forums. Like that. Look at Google.com, right? And I'm actually going to go to forums.kerbalspacechrome.com. Clicker Heroes is one of my most often. Vesuvius, drop it. Right now. All right. So let's see here. I'm going to go to the forums.kerbalspacechrome.com. You can see it's right there. Forum.kerbalspacechrome.com. And what we're going to do is scroll down until we get to the add-on releases forum right there. Add-on releases, that's where the mods are from. That double chat. Yeah, I had chats on both sides. Chat to the left of me, chat to the right. Here I am. Stuck in the middle downloading a mod. Alright, so I'm going to go to the add-on releases forum. Forum.kerbalspacechrome.com, add-on releases. That's where I'm going to go. Actually put the link into chat. Sure, absolutely. Sephiratron, absolutely. You can scroll down here, and I want you to look at the very top here. You see this community mods and plugins library? It's such a great post. It's a community-generated post where there is a big old list of mods. Look at all the mods. It's a big old list of mods to download and install. There are mods. There are the armory mods is apparently the first one. There are mods that you can blow stuff up with. There are cheat mods. That's missing a link to something I think that should be under cheats. There are IVA HUD mods, there are flag mods, there are career mods, there are game object feature, there are info control, there are part mods, there's life support mods, there's beautification mods, there's missions and tutorials, there's all sorts of stuff, there's parts right there. What else? Sounds, new science missions you can do, space station base mods. There's so many different mods. The game has such an awesome modding community. I am looking in this big list of mods for a specific one called Engineer. It helps if I can spell it. Engineer. Did I get it? Let's see here. 1 of 7. It's not that one. It's... There we go right there. Kerbal Engineer Redo by Cybertech. I will say... Oh, really? Astronomer's Visual Pack got updated. Thank you, Smartaflob. I remember that. Bro Sidon! What's up? Let me do this, right? Let me do this. I will tell you, there are so many awesome mods in this game. There's so many things you can add. You can add missiles and tank turrets. You can add new parts. You can add new technologies to use. You can add warp drives. You can add other solar systems. There's so many different things that you can do. If you're a new player, stick to the basics. I've seen too many players on stream who are new to Kerbal Space Program who have 50 different mods installed, and they get so frustrated. They're like, near and far, and, you know, I'm going to install all these new parts, and I'm going to install this other thing, intergalactic thing, and I'm going to install this new nuclear reactor thing, and I'm going to just... They install like 50 mods off the bat, and then they get frustrated by the game. They don't ever learn the basics of the game. They just start installing mods, and then they get frustrated, and they don't know how to do things in the game because there's so many different parts, and there are so many different things to do. There's so many different things to do in the game. If you're new to the game, learn the basics first. Keep it simple. Keep it simple. And then when you've got the basics under your belt, come over here to this community mods and program library and download to your heart's content. Download, I don't care. Put the armory in there. Put in the, I don't know, the alternate resource panel. Put in the, let's see here, the different flags. Put in the B9 aerospace parts. Put in the Mark IV cockpit parts. Put in MechJeb. I don't even care. Put in whatever you want. You see what I did there? Put in whatever you want. But learn the basics first. That's all that I ask of you. I don't want you to get frustrated by the game because you're overwhelmed by all the mods. I want you to learn the basics first. Anyways, moving right along with Kerbal Engineer. I'm going to go ahead and click on Kerbal Engineer here. That is going to take me to the thread for Kerbal Engineer. You see the thread up above me. You see the thread. Yeah, Gav, dude, Gav. That is an excellent point. That is an excellent point right there. A note for new players, quite a lot of the mods make the game harder rather than easier. That is absolutely right. That is absolutely right. A lot of the mods will actually make the game harder. And if you learn the basics and you know what's going on, and then you want more of a challenge, that's the time to come over here to the mod library and start installing those things. That is exactly. You like that? Igor, you like that? Keep it simple in space. I like that, Squirrel Nutty. Keep it simple and go to space. So I went over here to the Kerbal Engineer link. The link to this right here is this right here, folks. That's where I am right now. That's where I am. I want you to scroll down over here and go to the public test released. I have told Cybertech he really needs to make this the official release, but right now this is the one at the top. Do not get version 0.6. Get version 1.0. Get version 1.0. So I'm just going to go ahead and click to download from CurseForge. That's going to bring it over here. Come on, CurseForge. Come on, CurseForge. Don't get into a religious debate about this either. We're just trying to learn to go to space. Well now, CurseForge is going very slowly. Huh. Let's try again. Let's try again. That did not work. Let's just close the entire thing. Let's go to CurseForge. There we go. Okay. Who knows what happened there. I'm on CurseForge now. If you like the mods, remember some of these guys have hosting fees. It doesn't matter which mod you're supporting. Sometimes you will see a donation button. Just like me, these guys really do appreciate the donations. So if you like a mod that you've got, it doesn't matter if it's B9 Armory or something that Rover Dude has made or whatever, and there's a donate button, always consider supporting the mod developers. That'll get you more cooler mods. But consider supporting. I'm going to click on the download link up here because I've already donated to Cybertech. I'm going to click on the download link. Ed is going to download a copy of Kerbal Engineer right like that. I am going to go ahead and open that. It is actually a zip file. You can see that I've got it in my downloads here. Kerbal Engineer -1.0.12.0. I've apparently downloaded it before. .zip. This is a zip file, and since I'm using Windows, it's automatically extracted it. Now that I've got this, the next thing that I need to do is go back to that directory where ksp.exe was. That is this directory right here for me. I had it up already. Is that looking good on the screen? It is. That is going to look like that. Again, ksp.exe is in this directory. It may be a little bit different. It may be a little bit different. Excuse me. Mysterious Mage, it really has to be done. I mean, people get confused. People get confused about how to do this. I know some people know how to do it. Anybody just try to grab DOS's directory and move it just better? Oh my gosh. Alright. So what we're doing here, we're in the directory with ksp.exe. In this same directory, brothers with ksp.exe, siblings with ksp, right next to ksp.exe, there's a folder called Game Data. This is where your mods live. If I open up this, you can see all of the mods that I have for my Kerbal Space Bootcamp streams right here. I've got the toolbars, I've got the crew manifest that I use to do the Kerbals, distant object enhancement lets me see planets, D-Pack is the Dr. Pepper alarm clock that keeps popping up and telling me to drink. I've got fuel balancers, I've got pretty mods, I've got Kerbal Engineer, I've got the Dr. Pepper can. This is where all the mods live. Each mod usually has its own folder. What you should do when you install this mod is go back to the root folder where ksp.exe is so you see game data. And all you have to do is drag the Kerbal Engineer folder from here over to game data. It's really that easy. It's not a config file. It's not anything that you need to do. You just pull it from the zip file over here to game data. It should say, see where it says over there, copy to game data? That's what it should say. I'm going to go ahead and let go right there. Kerbal Engineer, yes, I've already got it installed, so I just have to overwrite. If you don't have it, you won't get these warnings, but I'm just basically overwriting it here. So I am just extracting Kerbal Engineer to the folder. I should be able to then double-click on game data and see the Kerbal Engineer folder right like that. The majority of mods, that's how you do this. The majority of mods, that is how you drop these things in. I know it's very simplistic. But every day in my channel, I get somebody coming in. It's the same on the Macs. Thank you, Zogs. That's one thing. I can't stream that. I'm a Windows person. I can't really stream it on a Mac, but it's the same on a Mac. You drag it out of the compressed folder, whatever they call it, the iZip or whatever it is on a Mac, and you drag it over, you extract it, you move the files into this game data folder just like this on the Mac as well. Thank you for reminding me of that. I forget sometimes, but thank you so much for that. Every day I get questions on how to install mods. This right here, somebody tells a highlight in there. I really need to highlight this so that I can have the little how to install mods disclaimer, the little how to install mods. So we've done it. We've installed Kerbal Engineer. Could we come back over here? Could we come back to the community pods and plugins? Could we get some more stuff? Yes. We could do that. In fact, if you scroll my channel down, there's a couple different mods that I say are must-have mods. I love the alarm clock. I love atmospheric reentry. I love RCS build aid, and I love Kerbal Engineer. I love those mods because they don't do anything besides give me additional information. They pull back the curtain on the game. The iZip sounds like the Mac branded line of jeans. They pull back the curtain on the game, and they show you what's happening in terms of the numbers. They show you what's happening behind the numbers, and if you understand what the numbers mean, which I'm about to show you, and you understand how to control the numbers, astronomer's pack is 404 megs, really? If you understand the numbers, you can see the numbers in the game is a lot less frustrating. The game is a lot less frustrating. So we've got the mod installed. Let's go ahead and open the game back up. I'm going to come over here, back to my root node. I'm just going to go ahead and open that up. Let's go ahead and run that. Let's see how fast it loads on a solid-state drive. Here is another thing that you should understand. Kerbal Space Program can use a limited amount of memory. On a 32-bit platform, Kerbal Space Program can only use, I think it's like 3.5. It's not technically 4, right? It's a little bit less than 4. The more mods that you install, the more memory Kerbal Space Program needs. The more memory that Kerbal Space Program needs. It's much more simple than any other mod. It can be very difficult. Scaredy Lion. The simple mods, all the informational mods, 90% of the mods that I use are exactly like that. They're exactly like that. If you get into the more complicated mods, like parts packs and that sort of stuff, like a lens flare and stuff, it can be more complicated. But for the purposes of new players in boot camp, 90% of the mods that you should be installing are going to be insanely simple drag and drop sort of stuff. Let's see here. Oh, you're right. Biversity, thank you for pointing that out as well. That page was showing us, showing it. Scaredy Lion, just to make sure, I'd say 90% of the mods are that easy to install. I was saying Kerbal Space Program in 32-bit can only use somewhere less than 4 gigs of RAM. I'm sure somebody will tell me the exact thing. It's usually capped at 2 or 3. We know that it's 3.5 because right now mine, when I do my modded stream, mine goes up to 3.5. I know that, but it can only use so much. The more mods you try to toss in there, the longer that loading screen will take. I've seen people take 5 or 10 minutes just to load the game, and they're like, oh my gosh, it takes so long to load. And I was like, oh my gosh, you have 50 mods. No wonder. It's not the game's fault. It's the fact that you put so many mods in there. Your computer can't handle it. And sometimes you'll actually get the game crashing if you install too many mods. So you got to keep that in mind. You've got a limited amount of RAM to work with. There's a lot of stuff you can do. It's a more advanced topic that I won't go over right now. There's some stuff you can do to try and tweak it or fix it or whatever, tune it. I'm not going to do that at boot camp, but keep in mind, my recommendation for new players, stick with the basic info mods. Don't get a bunch of parts and awesome stuff. Learn the basics of the game first. Then when you've got the basics down, you've got a station in orbit around Elu or whatever it is you want to call it, then go to one of the other. You can start looking at the mods, install some weapons if you want to, install whatever you want. That's fine. Just keep in mind, you can only install so much before the game has problems. Back to boot camp. And somebody else said something that I need to say. Let's see here. Don't forget, some mods like B9 have various folders in the zip, like a source file or ships. Yes. You're right, Mystified Mustard. Some of the mods can be a little bit more complicated than just the single folder. All of my Get Started at Bootcamp mods are that simple, but some of the other things, you really need to look at that forum post and read the instructions, follow the instructions. If you don't follow instructions, don't take up the mod developer's time because you were too lazy and you just want somebody to do it for you. Read the instructions on the forum post. That's a great thing to point out, Mystified Mustard. Thank you. Alright, Bootcamp 1206, that's what we're doing now. Now that we've got this mod installed, right, reinstalled really, the latest version I guess, we're going to go back into the VAB and let's start looking at what the mod tells us. Let's go ahead and open up our auto-saved ship. Let us do this. I've got Kerbal Engineer up here in the corner. That's a good sign that I've installed it correctly. If you've installed Kerbal Engineer and you don't have it up there in the corner, press the backspace, or press the backslash key. Backslash is actually a keyboard shortcut to show and hide Kerbal Engineer, like that. So backsplash key, if you don't see it up there, try to press backsplash and it'll show it. You should also be able to see it. Follow my cursor down here in the corner. You see Kerbal Engineer? You can also show and hide it by clicking on that. Backslash or clicking on that. Moving right along. Moving right along. I can see. I can see. And I see a bunch of people. I'll address it right quick. Oh, stream tip is down? Oh, and the window's off-centered. Stream tip is down? Really? There you go. Thank you. Alright. Down there. Down there. See? I was going like this. Like that. Down there is where Kerbal Engineer is, or pressing backspace. Thank you. Thank you. I was still streaming the desktop, not the actual window. I see a lot of people talking about... 64 versus 32 and that sort of stuff. It's not backspace, it's backslash. I used to run 64-bit, and there were some issues with it. There was one bug that got me. There was a time when, like, if you tried to right-click on the craft, it wouldn't work in 64-bit, and that's the bug that made me switch back. I went to 32-bit. I don't use very many mods, so I don't really need the additional memory capacity and that sort of stuff. So 64-bit has some bugs. Some of them are so super annoying, especially if you're streaming. I actually started streaming when I was on 62-bit, or 62-bit, yes, back in my day. 64-bit. But your mileage may vary. You may not be annoyed by the bugs or the crashes or whatever. That's up to you, which one you want to install. You got no cursor in-game. I do have a cursor in-game. It's right here. What do you mean I don't have a cursor in-game? It's right. Look, I can see it. There we go. It's going. Alright. So let's see here. What else do we have? Yeah, I see it on the stream over there. Let's talk about what the mod is actually showing us. Igor. If you did that, you got 0.6. You got 0.6 of Engineer. 1.0 is partsless. 1.0 does not require the parts. You downloaded the first link on the page, which is 0.6. Uninstall it, go back, and put the correct version in. Put the 1.0 public test release in. 0.6 requires parts. 1.0 is partsless. It doesn't require parts. That's the problem that you're getting there. We do get that all the time. You're talking about these parts right here. Like these. Cybertech left them in for cosmetic purposes because I think that's like a really cool part. I need to use it more for fashion. Alright. You're welcome. No worries. So, the mod gives me some more information. Up here, Kerbal Engineer, it's telling me two numbers. It's telling me my thrust to weight ratio, TWR, and it's telling me my delta V. Let's start with delta V. So using the same rocket, I'm actually going to take that engine off. It's going to be easier to demonstrate if I use a little bit smaller engine. Right now, you can see that I have 147 thrust to weight and 3892 delta V. What just happened? I just switched the engine out. I went from the mainsail engine, that one right there, to the skipper engine, and my delta V changed. Why? What just happened? When that happened, I went from 3444 up to 3892. Why is this engine giving me more delta V than the other? What is delta V even? What is it for? You keep saying that term, DOS. I don't even know what it means yet. Let's talk about all those things. Delta V means change in velocity. Delta, like the little triangle symbol, right? Delta is change in mathematical notation. Delta is change. V stands for velocity. Delta V stands for the change in velocity, and it's given in meters per second. Delta V means how much I can accelerate or decelerate. Right now, if there was no gravity, if we were on a world that had no outside influences, just a flat frictionless plane, right? We could use this delta V in this rocket, a flat frictionless plane that had atmosphere that was frictionless. I'll go over that in a second. If we were on a flat frictionless plane and we were to launch this rocket with 3892 meters per second of delta V, we could accelerate from 0, a complete standstill, stopping, not moving at all, and we could get going 3,892 meters per second in a straight line before we ran out of fuel. Before we ran out of fuel. Yes, it's military jargon for Das Valdez. You need more Das Valdez in your rocket or it won't go to space. DV. No, it's delta V. Change in velocity. So if we were on a flat frictionless plane and we went in a straight line, we lit the engine and we just went in a straight line and didn't stop, we could go from 0 to 3892 meters per second before we ran out of fuel. We could also do this. We could go from 0 to half of 3892. Let's type in calc here. Half of 3892 divided by 2, which is 1946. So we could go from a stop to 1946 meters per second, and then turn the rocket around and burn again and slow down back to 0 again. So we could either use it all in a straight line. Skipping for anyone else? I don't see my camera skipping. My camera skipping? I don't know. My camera seems okay. I don't know. I'm not dropping any frames. I don't see anything going on. But, so the delta V is how much I can change in my velocity. What does that really mean? What does that really mean for anybody, right? Change your velocity. Okay, so that just means that if I'm on the pad going 0 meters per second and I need to be going 2,000 meters per second in space, that's going to cost me 2,000 delta V. That's not how it works. Delta V, the way I like to explain it, is the ability to change my situation. So for example, say we're on that frictionless plane and I am not moving at all. I am not moving. I can actually accelerate. I can use 20 meters per second of delta V to change my situation from not moving to moving 20 meters per second. That is my situation change. I will go from not moving to moving 20 meters per second. Excuse me. I can then turn my rocket around and I can spin 20 more meters per second of delta V to change from situation moving 20 meters per second to situation stop. Situation stop. So I can do 20 meters per second to go from 0 to 20. I can spin an additional 20 meters per second to go from 20 to 0. The total for me to go from 0 to 20 to 0 would be 40 meters per second of delta V spent. And it adds up like that. You could go from 0 to 1,000. You could spin 500 to slow down. You could spin another 1,000 to spin back up again, up to 1,500. You can use delta V to go faster and slower. You can also use delta V to change your situation in terms of which way you're going, which direction your trajectory is going. You can be going in a straight line, and you can turn your rocket to the side and burn some delta V. You won't accelerate or decelerate, but you can actually deflect your trajectory off to the side. You press the backslash key or you click Kerbal Engineer down in the lower left-hand corner. Backslash key or Kerbal Engineer in the lower left-hand corner. That's how you do that. What's up, WA Hookie? So, that is what delta V is. It allows me to change my situation. Let's do a real-world situation here, right? I've got 3892, 1.4 thrust to weight. Let's go out to the pad. Let's go out to the pad and see how much we can change our situation with this delta V that we've got. So we're going to load onto the pad like this. We're going to put our cadets in the pods. Let's remove that. Let's get Mayor of Space. Add you to the pod. Let's get Gav. And let's get one more. Let's get one more cadet to ride up there with Gav. And the winner is Vigorous Hydro. There you go, Vigorous Hydro. Get into the pod, my good friend. Welcome to boot camp. That's not a bad roll, I guess. Let's put you in there with Gav. There you go. Hope you bathed today. Let's get rid of that. And let's see. 3892 meters per second of delta V. Let's see how much we can change our situation. What is our situation right now? Our situation right now is landed on the launch pad at Kerbal. I would like to not be landed on this launch pad anymore. I would like to change my situation. I would like to go somewhere else and do something else. I don't just want to sit here forever because it's boring. So I would panel lock, throttle up, SAS engage, 3, 2, 1, space, and you will see that my delta V begins to be spent. My situation was landed on the pad. Now my situation is leaving the pad, and I am spending delta V in order to accomplish that. You may have noticed that that didn't say that I had 3892 meters per second of delta V. I'll explain what that is in a second. In the VAB, it's telling us at sea level. The launch pad is actually slightly above sea level, so that is why the launch pad said we had a little bit more delta V than we said. I'll talk about how the engines affect that. But look how this is going. I'm spending delta V, and as I'm spending delta V, I am changing my situation. I'm getting higher and higher and higher. Higher and higher and higher. The problem is right now, something's working against me. Gravity is working against me. Gravity's trying to pull me back down to the planet. Remember, acceleration is measured in meters per second, right? Meters per square second, really. And every second that I am flying in this rocket, gravity is trying to pull me back down. In fact, some of my... a pod on top of a pod, because it's Kerbal Space Program. I have an uninvited hitchhiker. I think I've got everybody. That's okay. Yeah, we're good. Every second that I fly this rocket, we are losing acceleration due to gravity. It's pulling us down. So some of it's canceling out. That doesn't mean that I'll be going 4,000 meters per second, 3982, 3892, whatever it was, whenever I get into space, because that delta V was totally changing. Now, I've gotten up here. I was able to take off. I have lots of delta V. Remember, I said planet. Look at that sunrise, though. Sunrise. Yeah, that's the east. So I'm going to turn. And look at what's happening now. My rocket exhaust is not matching exactly the way that my rocket plume is pointing, my rocket flame. That is because I'm using delta V not to accelerate myself straight up. It's a backslash, not forward slash. Backslash, forward slash, stop Ruger. Backslash, not forward slash. So, I am burning at an angle now, and I'm actually deflecting my trajectory a little bit. I'm spending some of my delta V to go faster. You can see my speed is increasing, but I'm also spending some of my delta V to turn my rocket. That does cost delta V. And look at this. Now I've got this apoapse of 50. I'm going to go into orbit mode and start to turn and burn. I'm still spending delta V. I'm still spending delta V. I'm going to burn this until I get up to like 75, and I'm going to stop spending delta V. Stop. It's not Star Wars. We don't constantly run our engines. I stopped spinning the delta V. Now I am on what's called a ballistic trajectory. I'm just flying. I am just flying up to the top of this. And then I'm going to fall back down again. That is what's happening. So when I get to the top of this, I could spend even more delta V. I'll go into depth on the maneuver nodes, but when I pull on this, this is the same as spending delta V. In fact, you can see it increasing. If I pull on that prograde marker that says go fast so you start missing the planet, I'm going to keep pulling on that thing and see if I can't get a periapse. There's a periapse. There we go. That did the flip. So that's 74 by 79. That would be an orbit. So it's telling me, DOS, dude, when you get up there, you're going to need to spend 1200 delta V in order to complete this orbit. I'm going to go ahead and pull over this way and turn. I'm going to point at the little blue marker. I'll go into this in advance. I'll go into this in detail. But I'm going to go up here and I'm going to do this burn. Cadets, pop quiz. What's the problem right now? What's the problem right now? Tell me what the problem. There is a problem on the screen. Here is a quiz. Me quiz. Right there. There is a serious problem with my delta V and the maneuver node I just put together. First cadet to do it gets 5 extra credit. Go. What is on the stream? What is on the stream right now? Shut down the engines, plummet down to the planet. Not enough delta V, says Dogs. Zogs, not enough delta V. Not enough delta V, says Mage. Dude, cheers. Francis Connor, what's going on? Cheers from Minmus. Oh, dude, congratulations on the mission. Sorry. Not enough delta V. Dude, Zogs, Mysterious Mage, SWAT Leader, good job, guys. There's not enough delta V. In fact, I need to go ahead and do the burn. Let's illustrate that. It was Zogs that got it, so let's add 5 credits to Zogs. Did I get it right? Yeah, there we go. There's not enough delta V in the current stage. You're exactly right. Not enough fuel, not enough delta V. You guys are all right. Because look, we are ditching. We are spinning this delta V, but we've got less delta V in the stage than the maneuver node is going to require. So let's just spend all of this delta V. We're out. We're down to 0. We did not have enough delta V to get into orbit. The maneuver node was telling us, hey dude, look, if you spend exactly that much delta V, you're going to get in this orbit. We did not have enough. We are going to be coming down like that. So that's a problem. Apparently, we need a very kick out two Kerbals. Kick out 2 Kerbals. Francis Connor, dude, oh my gosh, I'm sorry. Where was it at? Francis Connor, Oh, it's so hard to me to get stuff at boot camp sometimes. Oh, it's a cheers, dude! Francis Connor, man. Cheers as well. I just have this, but cheers. Thank you for that, man. Your Lurker and City Builder, thanks for the follows, guys. Also, Hurry Stream, I appreciate you as well. Welcome to Kerbal Boot Camp. Francis Connor, cheers to you as well, my good friend. Good to see you here in the channel. So you can see how to set up the credits and how to use them. Malice Draco, it's DeepBot. I use DeepBot right here, man. You can just go bot. That'll give you a link. There you go. Right there, Malice, that is what I'm using. It costs you $10 a month to do it. It's really simple. I can get with you on TeamSpeak or something, but I had no clue how to do it. I just downloaded it, and it was really straightforward. So go for it, man. Yeah, go for it. Again, guys, Malice Draco's another streamer. And if you're interested in streaming KSP, hit me up. More than happy to help. More than happy to help. So in order to get a perfectly circular orbit, you have to keep the angle of trajectory on a more flat line, or keep the time millisecond around 1. I will explain that. I will explain that. I will explain that. Yeah, no worries. No worries. Keep it classy. Keep it classy. Alright. We did not have enough Delta V. So apparently, I need more Delta V. I need more Delta V. Let's go ahead and get rid of the stage, like we did before. Let's go ahead and do the, excuse me. Others have separate channels. Yes, yeah, I know. I know that other people have different things to chat it. I have not figured that out. This is closest to an orbit that you've ever had. I ran out of Delta V2. Don't worry about it. I'm going to show you how to fix it. I'm totally going to show you how to fix it. You're going to be streaming soon. All my gaming PC parts are shipping. Nice. Alfred, 4KHH. Dude, welcome to boot camp, man. I appreciate y'all. So let's go ahead. We did not have enough Delta V. We were 130 short. So let's go and add some Delta V. Let's recover these guys. We've been recovering it, right? We've totally... Whoa, buddy. That time warp. You guys having a good time in the pod? Are we having fun in the pod? That'd be hilarious if I was able to break the craft. Actually, wait a second. Am I actually breaking the craft a little bit? Look. It is. It's actually trying to throw the pod off. Do you see the distance, the separation between the pod? That would be hilarious if I threw you guys together. Yeah, no worries, Foxy. No worries. Keep it classy. I liked it. I mean, if there are kids out there that are interested or excited about space, or high school kids, or whatever, just keep it classy, you know. I have a daughter. I play Kerbal Space Program with her. She gets all excited about it. You know, I like to keep it classy. I do like to keep it classy. Let's not break the pod, though. Somebody said that StreamTip wasn't working. I'm not getting anything from StreamTip. Let me try to bring StreamTip up. I hope that that's not the case, because I do this for a living, and not being able to make money would be a huge problem. Let me look at StreamTip right quick while we do this reentry. Let's see here. Yeah, I'm not streaming it. That's good. Yeah, we're getting a little physics warp. That's okay. It's not that it's just not showing it. It's like the tipping page isn't actually working or something, I guess. I'm getting the tipping page to come up. I don't know if it was temporary down or something. Should I donate something to myself? Let's go ahead and do that so this pod can circularize. I've got it coming up. StreamTip is not working. Missed the drink. I missed the drink. Mr. Beagle, thanks for the follow. Alright, let's go ahead and untime warp it here. Let's see here. We're falling straight down. Yeah, I don't know. I was able to bring it up, but I don't know if it's airing out or something, maybe. Is it breaking? I don't actually know how to test it. That would be a huge problem. It wasn't working. You don't know about now. Okay. I was able to get it to come up, but that would be a big deal. I get most of my income from the month during boot camps. The page wasn't coming up before. Oh, okay. I gotcha. I think the page just came up for me. That would actually cause me to change providers or something, because if you can't make money doing this, I've got to go get another job. The subconscious Dr. Pepper adversary. You're right. Anyways, now that our main chutes have deployed, we can go ahead and... There we go. Creeper face. Make a helicopter to bring a pad above 20,000 meters. Bring a helicopter to bring a rocket above 20,000 meters. Go! This should be good. This should be good. There's a weird thing on the DBOT page. I don't know what that means. Yeah, I don't know what that is. Weird thing on the DBOT page. Don't know what to tell you. Anyways, let's go ahead and just recover this vessel. Let's go back and let's keep on going. I was just spending some extra time there while we were doing the encounter. All right. It was not working, but now it is. Okay, thank you. Excellent. Good deal. Excellente. Thank you for confirming that for me. I'm actually going to do this as well, because it is a big deal. There we go. Okay, got it. Good deal. So we've recovered Gav, Aerospace, and Vigorous Hydro. Let us go down here. Delta V is not potential thrust. What I want you to say with Delta V, I want you to say that Delta V is your ability, your capability, your ability to change your situation in space. Just remember that. It's your ability to change your situation in space. You may go faster, you may go slower, you may turn, you may do something like that. It's your ability to change your situation in space. How much, how often you can do it. Send us a test donation. Nice. Is this on testing tip number 1? I haven't seen it come through. Check out your plane. You'll use some of the procedural parts mods. Nice. That is a cool looking little plane. Good job. Well done, cadet. What's up, MeagleNet? So let's see here. We were short on Delta V. We were like 130 short. We needed more Delta V, right? We totally needed Delta V. We totally needed Delta V. What we could do here is add some more fuel to the rocket, right? Because if I put more fuel in the rocket, then I would have more fuel to spend, right? And if I have more fuel to spend, then I should be able to get more Delta V, right? That makes sense. So let's do that. Let's go over to the rocket and let's, I don't know, double the amount of Delta V. There's no such thing as too much Delta V, right? So let's just double the amount of tanks we have on there. Look, there you go. Seems legit. Look at that. Bam! We should have double the Delta V, right? I just put twice as much fuel in there. I totally just put twice as much fuel in there. What's the deal? Look at my Delta V. 48.97. That's lame. I had 38.92. I put double the fuel on it and I've got 48.97. What the heck? That's a huge problem. That's a huge problem. Excuse me. Excuse me. Ooh! Incorrect, Igor. That's incorrect. It says do not read. It says do not read. It doesn't change the amount of thrust that you have. It changes your ability to accelerate. Thrust is separate from acceleration. Thrust is separate from your acceleration. Thrust will stay constant. Thrust will stay constant. The thrust to weight, or the thrust to mass. Thrust to mass is acceleration. Thrust to weight is thrust to weight. The thrust to weight will change, but the thrust will not change. Pow! Bat! Poo! Welcome to boot camp. Quadruple it. It will not work. The problem is that rockets do not work this way. A change of velocities. Yes! We went over that when I first started doing it. When I first explained it, I said delta V is change in velocity. Delta like the triangle, the mathematical symbol for change. V like velocity. Delta V is definitely velocity. If you came in after that, we were explaining that earlier. So the problem is that... Oh, more engines, Wonderful Waffle says. Incorrect. I'll try it. I'll put more engines on. The trick here is that there is something called the Solovsky rocket equation. I don't even know if I pronounced that right. I didn't go to school for that. But there's an equation called the Solovsky rocket equation. And that describes the fact that a rocket gets its delta V, it gets its ability to change its situation by exploding its fuel and throwing it out the back. Not even necessarily. It doesn't even have to explode it. Basically, it takes mass on the rocket, the fuel, and it throws it out the back of the rocket using some force, right? Using some force. It could be an explosion. It could just be air pressure, like if you had a balloon. But I don't think that the rocket equation would describe a balloon. Never mind. Don't just ignore that. Ignore that. So, what we're going to do here is take our fuel and throw it out the back of the rocket. The cool thing is that as we take our fuel and throw it out the back of the rocket, our rocket loses weight. It goes along like a weight loss plan. Its weight loss plan is going to space. In order to go to space, it needs to lose weight. And when it does that, it has less weight to push. That is where the rocket equation comes in. Because what is happening? This rocket can put out some certain amount of thrust. Call it 1,000, right? It's actually 650. But say that this rocket can put out 1 unit of thrust. And in that 1 unit of thrust, it has to carry how much? 81,000 kilograms. 81,000 kilograms using 1 unit of thrust. If I burn some of this fuel out, that weight goes down. Look at that. Instead of 81, when I empty that first tank, I'm going to be on 65 kilograms. That means for 1 unit of thrust, I will actually get more bang for my buck. It's like a car. I don't know if you've ever had a truck or something where you're tolling your... No, Crispy Unibrownies, this is how we always do it. This is the thing that I've done 8 times at boot camps. This is always how we do it. Whenever I burn out that fuel, I don't have as much mass in the rocket. I've taken my mass and I've thrown it out the back to change my situation a little bit. And now that I weigh less, I can get more bang for the buck from that 1 unit of thrust. And if I get rid of even more fuel, I take this and I throw it out. From the remaining fuel, I'll get even more bang for my buck. And when I take out this fuel, I'll get even more bang for my buck. In fact, look at this. Look at how this works. When I am flying this rocket, when all of these tanks, I'm going to go in reverse order. When all of these tanks are empty and just this tank has fuel in it, we are going to get 2,000 meters per second. 2079. 2,000 meters per second. My keyboard... Oh my gosh, you're right. Thank you. I was pointing at the mass of the rocket. Just listen to the mass of the rocket. Thank you. Cybertech totally hosed me there by putting that little thing there. I wish I could move it. I wish I could drag it. Because there's no VAB. This would make more sense if I could drag it over to here. I'll have to talk to him about that. I could drag my keys over. Yeah, I gotcha. So, the problem here is that from this tank, all of these tanks are empty, right? We've already used all of these fuels. When we just have fuel in this tank, we are going to get 2079. Let me bring this up and show you. That's how you have to do an interplanetary transfer. I've got an in-game notepad. The last tank is going to be 2079 meters per second in Delta V. If we fill up this tank, when we have fuel in this tank, 3319. 3319. So 2 tanks, 3319. If we fill up this tank, out of that tank, we're going to get 4260, 4206, 4206. And if I fill up the top tank, I'm going to get 4897, 4897. So you get it, right? Out of the last tank, we will get almost half of our thrust out of, or half of our Delta V out of just that last tank. And then we'll get a little bit more Delta V. What is the difference there? About 1,300. It's about 1,300 difference, right? Not exactly. We get about 1,300 out of this tank. And then look at the difference between here. That next tank, we get about 900. In that last tank, we only go from 4206 to 4900. So we get, there we go, it's working. Leaky Brains. Theme stream tip is working. Thank you. I appreciate that. DOS has donations. I just got Leaky Brains coming through. Did not show the tip. I did not get one from Taxaws. I did get one from Leaky Brains. It won't let me donate $200,000. That one just came through. Thank you. I think we've got that. Yes, I don't even care. Just send it to whoever. But that worked. That one totally worked. I did not see another one come through. Maybe it's delayed or laggy or getting caught up or something. I don't know what's going on. So what's going on here? Right? Out of the last one. Thank you so much for the support, Leaky Brains, by the way. That was way lagged. Okay, that was way lagged. It must be way lagged. Thank you, Leaky Brains, for the support. Like I said, this is my job. I do this for a living. I also have a part-time job teaching kids science in the real world, but thank you so much for the support. Without the support, I wouldn't be able to do these boot camps or any of my other streams. So, out of that last one, we go from 4,200 to 4,900. That's a difference of 700. There we go, Biversity. Is it going to be like a donation train all of a sudden? Is it going to be a donation train? All right, here we go. There's another one, Taxaws. It's getting caught up now. Boom, 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 all of a sudden. Oh, my gosh. All right. Leaky Brains, Biversity, Taxaws. Thank y'all. Leaky Brain says, thanks for the boot camp. Biversity with the $20 donation, dude. That's serious. Says, learned even more. There's another one. Learn even more just this first few hours. Thank you again for having a family-friendly, positive way to learn this game. Thank you, Biversity. I really do appreciate that. I really do appreciate that support. It's getting caught up now, folks. It's getting caught up. Taxaws. Some more funds for the Save All the Nodes campaign. Please help all the nodes in the world of KSP. An estimated 5,000 nodes get killed daily. Oh my gosh. Yes, Taxaws again funding the Save the Node campaign. I will put your nodes out to pasture for you, Taxaws, and I totally appreciate the support. And Draugr. Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. Thank you for the support, Draugr. I am going to have to get a pizza. Yeah, I'm going to have to get a pizza later. Bro Dave, you're right. I do need to get pizza later. A little too early yet. But, we've got hosts coming in. PC NC Gaming PCNC Gaming. Let's see here. What else? Little Caesars. I think Twitch just realized how much, so they tried eating your donations. War Phoenix is hosting. Yeah, guys, I saw quite a few hosts come through there. I really do appreciate y'all, guys, with the host, with the donations, with the follows. You guys are awesome. I really do appreciate it. I see a lot of chat going in there. Let's get ready to look so good. You look burnt or dead. There's a lot of chat going on. Let me keep on going with the Delta V here. Let me keep on going. I know chat's going on with a lot of stuff, but let me keep on going with this. So now we've got this rocket totally filled. You see that we get almost half of our Delta V. There's another one. MeagleNet, get that Patreon page and maybe start thinking about making a website for him. Yes, MeagleNet, I'm totally working on that. I'm totally working on that. Thank you for the support, MeagleNet. I mean, that's the same that I would get from a Twitch subscription for 2 months. There's another one. Testing 1, 2, 3. From LT Haas. Can I say that? I don't know. You didn't put it in his name. But from LT Haas. Bushman, thanks for the follow. Oh my gosh, in the middle. No, don't worry about it, bro Dave. Don't worry about it. Yo, Fruity, what's going on? Put to pasture. Yes, put to pasture. Maneuvering ASAP. Jeez. ASAP, huh? Don't worry about it, guys. Don't worry about apologizing. I totally appreciate the support if you can do it. I totally appreciate the support. Let me get them all. LT Haas, MeagleNet, Dragger, Taxaws, Biversity with a $20 donation there, Leaky Brains, Bombard, No IO, Silas Genovese. Guys, thank y'all for the support. This is my job, and I love it. Thank y'all so much. What we were saying, what we were demonstrating here, was that last tank, the first tank we used, we only get 700 out of. The second tank we use, we get 900 out of. The third tank we use, we get 1,300 out of. The fourth tank we use. So every bit of fuel is not rated equally. In fact, if we keep adding tanks, the returns will go down and down. SWAT Leader, thanks for the host. The returns will get diminishing returns the more and more fuel we add. So just simply adding fuel is not always the situation. I've got 4897. I was at 3892, so I've added 1,000 Delta V. 1,000 Delta V, right? Let's go out and let's launch this rocket and see if just adding all this fuel is going to get us into space. There's a problem. You may know what it is. There is a problem that we are going to demonstrate here. Any questions on Delta V? Totally do it. Oh my gosh, Mysterious Mage, do you have a way of donating that doesn't require PayPal? I don't right now, Mysterious Mage. I don't yet. I don't. So let's keep on going here. What is this down here? No part selected. Oh, no part selected. That's interesting. Wow, I gotta drink more and swallow it before I keep going. Purple, thanks for the follow. Whew, okay. My gosh. There's another one. Pale Rider, drink! Yes, sir, Pale Rider, I will drink. Thank you for the support, Pale Rider. I do appreciate the support. I really do appreciate all the support that's coming in. We've put the excuse me. The Kerbals are afraid of space. We've put additional fuel on here. Let's try to take this rocket off. Let's try to take this rocket off. So I'm going to go ahead and throttle this rocket up. I'm going to lock this panel. I saw what you just asked me. I'm going to do it. I got a plan. Wikai, thanks for the follow. Unstable Orbit with the donation. Thank you, Unstable Orbit. That $5 donation is what I would get from 2 months of subscription on Twitch. You only get about $2.50 a month if you're subscribed to on Twitch. So if you do $5, that's about what I would get in a 2-month subscription. That really totally means that you're awesome, and I appreciate it. So thank you. Thank you. So let's go ahead. We've got more Delta V, right? We've added 1,000 Delta V. Let's take this rocket to space. Let's take this rocket to space. Pan lock, throttle up, SAS engage, 3, 2, 1, space. That is not how you get to space. That is not how you get to space. This is a bad thing. This is a huge problem. Why does it burn so fast? It's like and then it's done. So, when we tried to launch that thing, we didn't take off. Cough, cough. Oh my goodness. That one right there is not how we get to space. No, Gav, you weren't in the rocket. You weren't in the rocket. No one was in the pod. Jeb was in the pod, but he doesn't count. Why didn't we take off? Let's try it again. I'll try it again. Maybe I just did something wrong. Maybe I just did something wrong. Let's try the launch again. Guys, don't, do not worry about it, guys. I don't want to see in my chat apologizing for not donating enough. You are not required to donate. I totally appreciate it. It is a huge deal, but don't ever apologize. I mean, $2.50 is a big deal. Don't ever apologize for not being able to donate. Kerbal Bootcamp is free. I'm going to keep doing this as long as I keep getting enough support, but it is free for people. You do not have to apologize. Let's keep on going. 3, 2, 1. Space, and see if I did something wrong. I mean, why did it start to timber? I'm burning. I'm not falling over yet. I'm not taking off, though. Did I, like, press a button or something? Did I scroll out? I don't actually know what I did to make it timber last time. It shouldn't have timbered. You guys are all over it in chat. You know exactly what's going on. You're looking at the screen. You're looking at engineer, and you're seeing a number that's very important here. You're seeing that my thrust-to-weight ratio, my TWR, is 0.8. It's like 0.86 or something, I think, when we first did it. My thrust-to-weight ratio is under 1.0. If my thrust-to-weight ratio is under 1.0, the rocket will not be able to take off. In fact, look at what's happening here. Look at what's happening here. Handbrake. Yes, I have the handbrake on. You tipped over because you didn't panel lock. Did I not SAS engage or something? But we are not taking off because our thrust to weight is too low. Thrust to weight is the amount of thrust that your engine can produce as a ratio against gravity. Thrust to weight, right? Thrust to weight. And if your thrust to weight is not at least 1.0, you cannot take off. Look at what's happening here. Look at that. As soon as thrust to weight crossed 1.0, my rocket started to go to the sky. That's amazing. I'm not even mad that my rocket has slowly started to take off. And look at this. The more fuel that I burn out of this rocket, the faster it starts to go. The higher that thrust to weight gets. It's now 1.08. It's now 1.09. It's now 1.1. It's 1.2. It's 1.3. It's going to keep going up and up and up and up. It's going back to the VAB. The more fuel that we burn out of this rocket, the more thrust to weight we're going to get. That's going to allow me to take off. So you've got to balance the two things. You've got to have more fuel so that you have more delta V. But you also have to have enough thrust to weight that you can take off in the first place. You've got to, those are the two basic concepts in the game. Thrust to weight and delta V. Thrust to weight is very important for getting off the surface of the planet. If you don't have enough, you're not going to get off the surface. If your thrust to weight is too low, it's going to take you forever to do burns like nuclear engines. Oh my gosh, their thrust is so low, they're so heavy. Yes, they're very efficient, but it takes so long to do it because the thrust to weight is so terrible. We continue to fly into space because our thrust to weight is over 1.0. Now here's the trick. While this rocket is flying, let me talk to you about different planets. Notice that the term is not thrust to mass. The term is thrust to weight. Remember, your weight is your perceived weight based on your mass and the gravity of the body that's calculating your weight against, right? So if I weigh 100 kilograms or if I mass 100 kilograms, I will weigh one amount on Earth in real life where the gravity is 9.8 meters per second squared, and I will meters per square second, and I will weigh a different amount, Professor M, with the donation, on the moon where the gravity is lower. I'll weigh different on Mars because the gravity is different. I'll weigh different on an asteroid which will have gravity. But my mass will not change. My weight will change because it's relative to the body that you're measuring the weight against. So, the engine that will take you off of Kerbal is different than the engine that will take you off of the moon, is different than the engine that you need to take off of a different planet. Let's go back to the fab and look at that. Professor M with the donation that's not only the $5 2-month super subscription, but also the answer to life, the universe, and everything. Thank you. Thank you for the support, man. Professor M says, thanks for all you do, Dawson, for having a classy stream. It's not watch enough. I suggest you ask your followers to do you a favor and promote your stream to others they know, especially students, schools, students, and teachers. Professor M, that's a great idea. Thank you for that. I've never really thought of that. I suggest you ask your followers to do you a favor and promote your stream to others that they know, especially people that like learning stuff. Thank you for that, Professor M. Thank you for that. I do appreciate that. I really do appreciate the support, and I appreciate the 42 cents as well, because your donation is the answer to the life, the universe, and everything. I really do appreciate you, though. We are continuing on with this rocket. We are getting pretty. Notice that I talked my way through. I was doing the moon and the weight, the thrust to weight thing. I was talking through my gravity turn. I totally missed the orbital pitch maneuver, and I am going this way, flying in this direction. I'm just going to keep on flying in this direction until I get an apoapse of 75, just like we did last time. 74, 75. All right, let's go out here. Let's plan that maneuver node. Let's see if we have enough. We don't. Let's see if we have enough to go into orbit. Let's see if we have enough. So I'm just going to pull on that maneuver node, the prograde marker, right like that. We're going to do a maneuver node tutorial coming up soon. There we go. All right, 81 by 75. Let's see. Let's see if the maneuver node. Let's see if we have enough delta V. Maneuver node says 1482. We have 1094. Wait a second. Wait a second. We added 1,000 delta V to this rocket. We added 1,000 delta V to this rocket. But we did not. We are even shorter on space. Now we're 400. We were within 130 before. Now we're 400 away. Why did adding more delta V mean that when I got into space, I have less velocity? I have less energy. I need more delta V, even more. I added 1,000. Why did it not work? You know one thing. When we were sitting on that... No, thank you, dude. Professor M, you're freaking awesome. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Even though I added 1,000 meters per second, I added all of this fuel. Certainly I'm going to space. I added more fuel. Dude, Professor M, thank you again, man. That's actually a really great thing. And the other, Dora the Exploder, I plan on using KSP in my classroom physics to teach a lot of concepts. So Professor M is totally right. Dora the Exploder, send me, Dora, please, send me a message here on Twitch or at Kerbal Space Academy at gmail.com. I did some brainstorming with Draugr, one of the viewers, and I came up with a list of science fair projects that you could do in KSP. Send me a message. I will be happy to share those science fair projects with you, demonstrating things like delta V, where you have the theory, you have the theory, and you have the hypothesis, and then you have the real world empirical demonstration. You can do it in the game to simulate it and get your hypothesis, and you can do it in the real world. I've got a list of science fair experiments. Send me a message. I would love to send those to you. I would love to send those to you. Anyways, this is not an orbit. Let's go back to the VAB, and let's keep on going with boot camp here. Let's keep on going with boot camp. Vehicle assembly. I'm just going to revert the flight. We're not even going to play around with this. So some people were asking, right? We can see right here in the VAB, 0.82. My thrust to weight. I sat on the pad for how long? I probably burned out that entire top tank before I even took off. So all that delta V that we added in there was just wasted. We got nothing out of it. We got nothing out of it because we sat there on the pad. So let's do this. Let's not sit on the pad. Let's not sit on the pad. So mass, amount of matter, and weight is how much the matter is under gravitational field strength. R2B anime, you are correct. That is pretty darn close. That's actually not pretty darn close. That's exactly. Yeah. I'm going to work with KSP for the science fair. I'm going to get that up on a website, guys. I really am going to get that up on a website. I really am. All right. Somebody said let's add more engines. We can do that. We can add more engines. Look, let's, how can we add more engines? What's the best way? What if we do this? Let's just put more engines on it without adding more fuel. How can I do that? There's not an easy way, honestly. With this design, there's not an easy way to add more engines and more fuels. Let's just test it. I love it when the cadets come up with things to test. Look, bam, bam, engines. Okay, let's add that. No, come on, girlie. Oh, man. Yeah, I had it. Oh, there we go. Oh, no. There. Silly VAB tricks. These will soon be outdated, I hear. Put it on with 1x symmetry, go to the other part, put it on with 4x symmetry. Let's go ahead and also fashion it up. Oh, no, that'll change the weight. Let's do this. Let's take the fuel out of these tanks because we don't want to add more fuel. We want to have the same amount of fuel. And then let's add some fuel lines so that we can also feed these engines with those central fuel tanks. So look at what's going on now. What just happened when I added those engines? I added 4 engines. I have 2.79 thrust to weight, but what happened with my delta V? My delta V went down. Why? Why? Use the tricoupler. The tricoupler won't actually use these bigger engines. We need more efficient engines. We'll get to that one as well. We added more engines, But my delta V went down. My thrust to weight went up, but my delta V went down. Why? Why, DOS? Guess what? Engines, as it turns out, have mass. 3.0 tons is what each one of those engines weighs. So we added 3, 6, 9, 12 tons of mass to our rocket. Adding that mass to our rocket removes the amount of delta V. Watch this. Watch this. Right now my delta V is 3115. Let's add a solar panel. Here's a big solar panel. Let's add 4 of them. My delta V went down. Well, that's okay. Let's add some RTGs. Let's add some RTGs. 3422. My delta V went down. Let's add, I don't know, let's add some science, right? We totally need some science. Let's add, here, to the top of the pod, let's add some science, 3408. It went down. Let's add some goo containers. I don't know, lots of goo containers, watch. My delta V went down. Every time you add mass to your rocket, right? Every single time you add mass to your rocket, if that mass is not comprised of fuel, you are going to have less delta V. All of these things, Kerbal storage, this is a science bay. Let's put it on the top. Watch. 3322, down to 3125. That science bay doesn't actually weigh that much. You don't need that much to move it around. Add more stuff. What is it? Aerodynamic parts. It doesn't even matter. Look at these nose cones. I was going to fashion it up. Watch my delta V. 30043. All of the mass that I add to the rocket is going to increase the mass part, the weight part of the thrust to weight equation, because there will be more mass in the rocket for gravity to act upon. Therefore, I will have a greater weight. Therefore, my thrust to weight will be lower. Also, my delta V will go down because I'll have to, I just said the exact wrong thing. My delta V will go down because I will have to carry mass that is not fuel to space. And those engines, when we added those engines, yes, those engines are going to be useful to us because, look at this, we're taking these things off and the delta V is going back up. Look at that. Now it's back up to 3410. Take these things off, 3515. Take those engines off, 4226, but the thrust to weight went back down. Those engines have mass, and it's a trade-off. Again, it's a balance, again, in the amount of thrust you have versus the amount of fuel you carry. So just adding more thrust, just adding more engines, let's say it that way, to be specific, adding more engines may not be your solution because I spammed some engines on there and my delta V went down. Now I'll take off like a shot. So let's do some other things. Zagathy, buy a copy right now. If you win, I'll reimburse you. Done deal. I will reimburse you. If you buy a copy, I will reimburse you for that copy if you win it. So let's not do this. Let's take these engines off and let's shop around for a better engine. If you look over here on the engines tab, the propulsions tab, you can see there are lots of different engines in the game. I've got big engines, I've got big engines, I've got small engines, I've got side engines, I've got ion engines, I've got these thingies that no one ever uses, I've got rapier engines, I've got monopropellant engines. You can't even see any of these things because they're ghosted out. I have lots of engines to choose from. So let's continue to look at engines. This engine that we already... Go away. And I just made a mess in the vab. Go away. Totally made a mess. Yep, clean this up. Alright, there we go. Get rid of that. And, okay, good. Nope, don't need that either. Get rid of that. No! No. Okay, there we go. Alright. Let's look at some engines here. Maybe you need just like 2 engines, not 4. Wonderful Wapple. That is correct. You could add 2 engines. Let me keep on going with this description of the different engines. Then you can mix and match your engines however you want. You can totally do that. This engine right here, the Skipper, the Rockomat Skipper liquid engine, hover over it. You can see, Yo Fruity, awesome streams, DOS, keep up the good work. Thank you, Yo Fruity. I appreciate the support. It's the support that makes me keep on doing this. So let's see here. It's still ghosting in the bottom. I don't know what that means. Ghosting in the bottom. I don't know what that means. Message sent. Thank you, excellent. Dora the Exploder. No worries. Oh, I've got a little teeny tiny engine. Is that what you're talking about? So this Skipper liquid engine, hover over it. Come on. There we go. That's what I wanted. Okay. Hover over it. You can see the stats. You can see the mass of this engine. Yes. Great, Dr. Pepper Master. You can see the mass of this engine is 3.0. You can see that the thrust that it puts out is 650. So let's shop around. We knew that we just added a bunch of mass to our engine, so let's look for engines that don't have as much mass, right? This one here, a mass of 0.1. This clearly does not have as much mass. Let's put it on. Yeah, okay, that's not looking like it's going to be legitimate at all. We got a lot of delta V out of it. 5,033. The problem is our thrust to weight at 0.04 is no bueno. That's a terrible, terrible thrust to weight. That's totally terrible. So let's take that engine off. We're not going to use that one. Let's use a bigger engine. 0.6 thrust to weight, not good. Whoa, my gosh, text wall me. I'm sorry. Oh my gosh. I'll read that in just a second. Let me keep going with the engine thing. That text wall, though, it's really hard for me to read things that big on stream. Let's not use that engine. Let's grab this engine. I'm just randomly putting engines on here. We're getting more delta V out of these engines because they weigh less, but we're getting really lousy thrust to weight. I am just randomly putting engines. I could be looking at this. Mass 0.5, thrust 50. That's not good because the thrust is 650 in the one we have. Thrust 60, no, that engine's terrible. Thrust 215. Thrust 200. Ooh. Thrust 1500. This is something that I like. I like this big engine here. So, instead of the skipper engine that has a max thrust of 650 and a mass of 3, I could use the mainsail that has a mass of 6, so double the mass, but it also has more than double the thrust. 650 times 2 is what? 12, 1300. This has 1500 thrust. Let's see how this affects us. The skipper on there was 0.82 thrust to weight, which would not take us off, but 4897 delta V, which is enough to get to orbit, we think. Let's put this big Rockomax mainsail hype on here. 1.82 on the pad, 4502 delta V. So we lost some delta V because the engine is heavier, but we gained a lot of thrust because the engine is more powerful. So even though the engine's a little bit heavier, I think that this setup right here will get us to space. Why? Because it has, what were we? We were like 3892 before, right? We were 3892. So we added 600 delta V, right? And we also have a thrust to weight of greater than 1. Let's go fly this rocket and see what happens. Let's go fly this rocket and see what happens. 1.82, 4502. Let's see if this will go to space. I know I'm going into excruciating detail to this. This is Kerbal Boot Camp. That is what I do. I want y'all to understand. If y'all got questions, ask me the questions. I am trying to keep up with the questions. Let's put some launch clamps on there just to make sure. Let's move the rocket up a bit. Somebody was asking me, Pink Out Cup, what's going on, good sir? Pink Out Cup. Somebody was asking me how to navigate around the VAB. When you want to rotate a rocket like this and look at it from different angles, that is holding down right click. Like this. I didn't just flip you off. I didn't just flip you off. Holding down right click. Can I rotate it? No, it apparently doesn't work on my hand. There we go. There you go. Alright, let me just caress my mouse here and make it turn. There you go. So holding down right click, which is that button right there, will allow you to rotate around the rocket, kind of pan the camera. Up and down, left and right. You can scroll up and down by just scrolling the scroll wheel. So see, check it out. I'm just scrolling the scroll wheel. I am moving my mouse up and down. That is how that works. And if you want to hold shift, and scroll, that will actually scroll you in and out. I can't actually hold up the keyboard. That'd be a little awkward. But holding down shift scrolls you in and out. Those are your basic commands for the VAB. Right click and drag scrolls around the rocket, pans the camera. Scroll with no shift goes up and down in the VAB. So if you have a really insanely tall rocket, you can go from the top to the bottom of it. And the last one, holding down shift and scrolling in, allows you to zoom in and out. How to move the rocket up and down? You can actually grab the root node, which is the top pod right here, and you can move it around, or you can hold down shift and left click any part of the rocket to move it around like that. You can move it up and down, you can move it left to right, side to side, up and down. If you need to move it in different axes of symmetry, you can actually go to the side and go like that right there. So I think that's a very quick very quick way to do it. I will talk about the other ones. Caress My Mouse will be the name of your new band. I will totally, let's see here. Ah, yes. Do note what DOS does now is unfeasible in real life, getting a rocket into orbit. Yes, we know that, but we're in Kerbal Boot Camp. We're not in actual NASA boot camp. I'm not training rocket scientists here. I'm training Kerbonauts. So this is totally a way to do it in the game. We're doing it as a way to illustrate how the Delta V works. 1.82 thrust to weight, 4502 delta V, mainsail hype. Let's go see if this craft will its space. Let's go see if this craft will space. Will it space? Oh, rotate objects. Oh my gosh. Remind me when I come back. Rotating the objects is pressing Q, E, and WASD. Just like you rotate your craft, rotating objects is Q, W, E, S, D. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's get ourselves another winner. We have another person in the pod. And the winner is Igor! This will shut you up. I'm going to send you into space. I'm just kidding. Alright, let's see here. Let's see here. There we go. Igor Prusku. There we go. Okay. You're getting in the rocket. Let's take all Jeb out here. Remove. Let's do crew roster. Let's go down. Let's create a Kerbal. Let's... Billy Bobgas? What? That's actually a Kerbal name, is Billy Bobgas. Y'all can't actually... Yeah, you can see it. Okay, good. Billy Bobgas Kerman. No, Igor Peruscu. It's just Igor Kerman. I know you got a guy on the other save, but let's do this. Let's just do this. Let's apply that. Let's add you down here. Vigorous Hydro was also down there. Gav was in the instructor's seat. Then Mayor of Space was in the Mark 1 pod. Let's see if this goes to space. Let's see if this goes to space. So I'm going to throttle up. I'm going to panel lock. I'm going to 3, 2, 1 space. That little echoing Papalicious follow after the rocket falls onto the pad. Staging, 3, 2, 1 space again. Alright, let's go to space. Popperlicious. Thanks for the follow. Also, Stryrum and Bar Chinkton. I missed you guys somehow. Apologize that. Alright, moving right along. We definitely had a staging problem. We're going to show how to fix that problem. Is this still go to gas floor? Yes, we did it. You forgot to stage right, did I? Did I forget to stage right? Or did I do it on purpose? Yeah, that one I actually did forget to do. We will go over staging next. To copy parts in the VAB, you hold down Alt. I'll show you back when we get in the VAB. Jimmy, thanks for the follow. Flying straight up. Let's see. We took off like a shot. We were going off just fine. Yeah. What was the deal? I didn't see anybody in chat. No, actually, somebody in chat did tell me to do it, and I just ignored it. What can you do, though? Gotta stream to stream. What happens if you space when attached to clamps? Wonderful Waffle, I will totally show you. I will show you how to do it correctly. Let's see what we've got here. Nothing. Thank you. What? I don't even know what's going on anymore. We're going to go straight up until we get to 10K. Then we're going to press the D key to lean ourselves over to the east. Like this. And I want to lean over to a 45-degree angle to the east. Why am I actually describing what I'm doing this time? Because it's going to work. That's why. No, it won't bring the clamps with you. I'm glad it was timed correctly. Papalicious, dude, that was perfect. That was perfect timing. It was like silence, crickets, and then all of a sudden, ring. So I'm going to pitch over to a 45-degree angle, just like this. I know that it says 90 on the nav ball. Sometimes people complain about that. They're like, Das, dude, you're pointing at 90. You're not pointing at 50. I'm pointing at 90-degree heading with a 45-degree inclination, a 45-degree pitch. So 90-degree angle is east. 45-degree inclination is pitch. Let me do this here. Let me go ahead and turn and burn. Let me get up to 80. There we go. So look at the nav ball. Consider the nav ball. On the nav ball, you got a couple of different gradations here. Time to Apple Apps. Plenty of time. You got a couple different gradations. You've got your heading, which is north, south, east, west. Starts with 0 degrees, which is north. Goes 45 to 90, which is east. Goes 135 to 180, which is south. Goes up to 270, which is west. Yeah, I didn't do the math in my head. And then goes back on around to 90, or goes back around to 0, which is north again. Your heading is north, south, east, west. You also have gradations for your inclination. That is the angle of your rocket relative to the horizon. You can see right now my rocket is at 30 degrees. Do you see that? 10, 20, 30 degrees. 30 degrees to the horizon. And look at this. This is the horizon. This is straight up on the horizon. That is the rocket. Right like that. That's a 30-degree angle. If I go ahead and lean over so that I'm at the horizon, I can press D, which is going to lean me over. The nav ball is back here as you're going west. Ah, yes. You've seen what bug? I don't know what bug you've seen. What bug are you talking about? Wait a second. I will have a look at it in just a second. It doesn't look like it's going west. Yeah, it's not going west. Oh, you've got the screenshot where it brings the clamps with you. Yeah, the bug with the clamps. That's right. Let's go ahead. let's go ahead and see if we've got enough delta V to complete this burn. I've got to do it fast. I've got to click. I've got to add maneuver. I've got to pull, 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 like that. I have a periapse of 66 by 82. Let's pull some more. That wasn't exactly right. 91 by 76. Let's pull it back so that it's on there exactly. 79, 96, 72. That's not good, DOS. You totally borked it. There. Put it on the node. Go, 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 go. You don't have much time. Then pull it until it flips. Wait for a quick flip. Flip for me. Flip, flip, flip. That was getting close. 70. Flip for me. There we go. That node is going to cost us $12.54. We've got $17.61 in the tank. We need to burn right now, though. Sorry. I ran out of time. Tried to explain too many things. Too many things. Spartan dude, you're right. That's an awesome link. How to take the launch clamp with you. I've never been able to do it. I've never been able to take the launch clamp with me. I've never encountered that bug. So we're going to burn like this. We are totally going to burn like this. I'm again using my delta V to complete this maneuver node. Bing! I burned it too much because I'm now going 97 by 75. And we should be good to go. Let's go check the orbit. Are we in orbit? We are in a nice orbit. It's not exactly circular, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's not circular. If you've never played the game before and you get in orbit for the first time, post up a screenshot. If anybody in my chat tells you you're an idiot because your orbit's not circular enough or whatever, I've got buttons and I've got friends with buttons who can solve it. Just getting into orbit for the first time is a huge, huge accomplishment in Kerbal Space Program. And if you understand the thrust to weight, and if you understand the delta V, and you understand how adding fuel to the rocket can increase the delta V but decrease the thrust to weight, in picking different engines can do anything else. Cy Young Me, what's going on? Picking those different engines can change the amount of delta V you get. You can get into orbit, go up to 10K, turn east to 45 degrees. When you get up there, pitch over even more until you're going around the planet, just like I've done. I need to do it more and more and more. Not even, it's just altitude ASL. It's circular over the mountains. Nice. In fact, if anybody here is playing along with us, even if you just got the demo or something, if you've got your first orbit, post it up into chat. And if anybody gives you any beef, and they want to say that, like, oh, I'm so awesome, I've landed on every planet 4 times, and I've got 1,000 hours of KSP or whatever, that stuff is cool, but if they give you beef because they think your orbit is not an accomplishment, I will take care of it. Because it's my freaking academy. It's my academy. And it's a huge accomplishment for people playing the games. In fact, it's such an academy accomplishment, I think we'll just do another donation. We'll do another giveaway right now. We'll totally give another giveaway right now. Want to give a copy away, says Cy Young Me? Sure, Cy Young Me. I'll totally give a copy. I've already got the copies donated for this one. Banhammer. I mean, I won't banhammer. Ooh, boy, I'm down. Artak will take care of it. Gav will take care of it. Spartan will take care of it. Sarion will take care of it. Adel will take care of it. My Maz will take care of it, guys. Because if you've got something, don't be embarrassed to post it up here. If it's something that you're proud of, put it in my freaking channel, and we will give you props for it. Because it's a huge accomplishment for people who don't play this game to get stuff like that done. And it's such an accomplishment we are going to do. Authoritarian. We are going to do a giveaway right now. If you've been watching, I've been streaming for about 3 hours and 30 minutes. 3 hours and 30 minutes. So if you've watched for 3 hours and 30 minutes, you have 6, 7 tickets you could buy if you didn't already spend it. Let's go ahead and open this up. Let's go ahead and open this up. Das is the taskmaster of this academy. I'm going to do this one with 5 for the new people, right? So it's an even chance between people who have been with the academy for a long time and people who are just new to the stream. I am going to give away. Get the Dunce Camp. Get the Dunce Camp. Nice. Here's what we're going to do. Still squeaky news since we have an awesome community. Sarian, you're right, dude. You're exactly right. You're exactly right. I'm more trying to encourage people to post up their accomplishments, even if they don't think it's not landing on them. It's not a huge space station in orbit of Joule or whatever. If you've gotten into orbit for the first time, I will give you props on my stream. That wasn't even English what I just said. I will give you props on my stream is what I meant to say. Anyways, let's do this. I'm going to juggle Kerbals. We're going to have a Kerbal fire drill here. And you will have until the end of the fire drill to get these entries in. Let me do a couple things here. I'm going to get this up. I'm going to actually, let's do that. Let's come over here. I need to search for, there we go. We're going to do something I've never done before here for the giveaway so that you have an amount of time. That looks good. Okay. Tell me it's going to pause. All right. Good, good, good. Excellent. Let's actually turn it up some. like this. There we go. I'm going to pause the chiptunes. Again, you've been earning credits. You've been earning class credits just for watching Kerbal Space Academy here at the boot camp. You can spend these credits for these tickets. All you have to do is type exclamation point ticket space with a number of tickets. You'll be able to purchase a maximum of 5 tickets. They will cost you 5 credits each. If you've watched for 30 minutes, you would be able to afford 1 ticket. I want to keep it open. I want to keep it open for the new people, but I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and open up Ticket Raffle. This is for a full copy of Kerbal Space Program. Ticket cost is 5 credits, 30 minutes of watching me. Listen to me run my mouth. Max tickets is 5 to keep it even for the new people. I'm going to go ahead and open the raffle right now. Anybody can enter. Anybody can enter. You want to press exclamation point. This is what you want to do. Exclamation point ticket space number 1. This will get you 1 ticket right here. This will get you 1 ticket right there. I'm going to highlight it. I'm going to leave it on the screen. I'm going to leave it on the screen. Can I leave it on the screen? Not yet. I need the chat to scroll some. There we go. It is a raffle for a full copy of KSP. You can enter like this. If you've been watching me for 30 minutes, you'll have at least 1 ticket. You can get more, but exclamation point ticket space 1 is the way to answer. And I am going to give you some time to do this. What we are going to do is a Kerbal fire drill. We're going to get all the Kerbals outside the rocket. They're going to have to make a full lap of the rocket using their RCS fuel. And by the time I get all the Kerbals doing a lap of the rocket, that is when the raffle is going to close. Let's get this done. Igor's going to go first. Igor, do a lap of the rocket. Go, 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 go. Down to the end of the engine. Back around the edge. Forward, forward, forward. Back up to the front. Back up to the front. All right, all the way around. Come around the edge there, Igor. And then, wait, no, that's the wrong button. Go over here. What pod did you get out of? I think you got out of this pod. Get back into the rocket. Igor has successfully completed a lap. Let's see here. Mayor of Space. Go on an EVA. Do a lap around the rocket. Turn on your RCS pack. Do a lap around the rocket. Go, 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 go. Go, go, go. Now there you go. All the way around Mayor of Space. Go, 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 go. No, screet! Too much, too much. Let's keep going. Get back in the rocket. Oh, no, no, you borked it. No, get back in, Mayor of Space. Freaking cadets. Oh, my gosh. Can't live with them. Can't crash them into the sun. Come on, Mayor. Come. Grab it. Oh, he missed it again. No, he's doing a flip. This is terrible. Turn on your RCS. Do a little bit more gently this time. All right, simmer down. Simmer down. Grab it. Oh, my gosh, you're terrible. You're terrible. You're stuck in the rocket, it looks like. I don't even know what's going on. It's the angle. Grab it. Okay, get in. Get in. Okay, phew. Mayor of Space is good. All right, who else do we have? Vigorous Hydro. Get out of the rocket. Go. Do a lap. Turn on your jetpack. Fly. Oh, okay, you're going to do it this way. That's fine. We can do it that way, too. Around the rocket. Screet. Oh, no. I'm in the wrong window. Where's the rocket? There it is. Whoa. F5 for safety. We don't need to F5. Go, Vigorous Hydro. Alright, turn around and screet. Uh-oh. More Benny Hill music. I'm in the wrong window again. Oh my gosh, I did a good job the first time. I just messed it up. I just can't live with them, can't crash them into the sun. Alright, we've got one more cadet. We've got one more cadet here. We totally have one more cadet. Wait a second. Get it. Bored. He just got right in. Who's the last one? The last one is Gav. Gav, I expect perfection on this circuit of the rocket, my good friend. By the time I get Gav back into the pod, it will be time for me to close down the raffle. Gav is going down to the end of the rocket. He's going to turn at the end of the rocket. He's going to go. Look at this instructor. Oh my gosh, this is why Gav is a mod. Go, buddy. Screet. Screet, and then down a little bit, and then get back in. Oh my gosh, like some sort of new record. No, it's not a new record. Oh no, Gav. I hit the wrong button. Get it into the pod, and then in the pod. Crawl. Pod. There you go. Folks, that is the close of the raffle. I'm going to go ahead. You knew how much time you had. You knew how much time you had. I am going to go ahead and close the raffle now. Get behind the nozzle and full throttle on the Kerbal. We've done that before. I am closing the raffle. We've got 68 entries. Gav doesn't know how to ladder. Yeah, I pressed R instead of F. I was having too much fun doing this. I am closing the raffle right now. The raffle is officially closed. Let's see who we've got in terms of winning this raffle. May the RNG be forever in your favor. The winner is Snake Rustler. Snake Rustler, are you here? The winner is Snake Rustler. Viewer, Snake Rustler following the channel since 14th of October. Snake Rustler, are you here? What's going on? How's it doing? Do you have this game yet? Let's turn this back on. Alright. Where's Snake Rustler at? Paging Snake Rustler. Yo! What's up? Snake Rustler. If Kamuchi is here, Kamuchi can totally send you a copy of the game. If not, I will get it to you after the stream. Kamuchi, our new winner is Snake Rustler. Do you have the game, Snake Rustler? Do you have it? I'm very interested in whether or not you have it. Congratulations, though. Congratulations. There we go. You have the game. You want to give it to your friend. That's awesome. You're going to get a code, and you'll be able to give it to your friend. You totally will have a code. Thank you for telling me about chat. Congratulations, Snake Rustler. There you go. Kamuchi's got it. Coordinate with Kamuchi. Kamuchi, thank you so much for doing this, by the way. Thank you so much. Guys, the copies of the game that we're giving away right now were donated by KSP Kamuchi. We've got 5 copies to give away. Thank you so much, Kamuchi. And it looks like Young Mi was also saying, Young Mi, maybe we have an extra one? I already got it, Mayor Space. Yes, I can. Yes, I can. Talk to Kamuchi. Kamuchi will get you taken care of. Caboose, M81, dude. Glad to be a part of DOS's Rogues. Keep up the good work. Caboose, you are a Rogue subscriber, man. Like I said, everybody that donates at least $4.99, I will get their Rogue subscriber status set up. I will get the Rogue subscriber status set up. We still have to figure out. I've got some ideas. I've been working on it, and I've got some swag that I've been working on. I'm not going to say anything else about it. I'm not going to say anything else about it. That's it. We got some awesome stuff coming up for that stuff. Anybody that donates at least $4.99 is going to be a Rogue subscriber. A Rogue subscriber. That's what I call it. And you will get some sort of swag. I've got stuff in the works that is completely awesome. So, we are here in orbit. Staging, yeah, I think we're going to be fine. You have a full copy on Steam to give away. So we may have 6 Young Mi, huh? Young, let's add that. We can actually do that one as the next one, because our next one is going to be getting out to a lunar orbit. Next, when we get in a lunar orbit, we will give away Young Mi's copy there. That sounds great, dude. Young Mi, thank you. So that's another exact perfectly way to support me. That's another perfect way to support me. I really do appreciate it. Let's do this. Let's get these guys home, right? I didn't mess with the volume or anything. All right, good deal. Folks, thank y'all for participating. I had so much fun with the Benny Hill thing. All right, so let's go ahead and get these guys home. Now that we're in the orbit, right? Now that we're in the orbit, we are going to need to, right? What are we doing? What is an orbit again? We're falling at the planet at the same rate that the planet is curving away from us. I've applied for partnership. Don't know when we're going to get the emotes. Got denied the first time. It's okay. I'm not worried about that. We'll get the custom emotes soon, though. We'll get it done somehow. Will it space? It totally spaced. We are currently falling around the planet. The trick is that we're falling towards the planet at the same rate the planet is actually curving away from us. We need to stop doing that. We need to become worse at missing the planet and better at hitting the planet. In order to do that, we can actually remove energy from our orbit. We can remove energy from our orbit. To do that, all I have to do is point backwards. Backwards. And burn my engine. What does that mean? Well, I've got this thing on the nav ball. You've seen me working with the little green prograde vector. The little green ball that does not have an X in the middle of it. This green ball, do we have solar? We don't actually have solar on here. We're going to have to worry about that. This engine will turn on. That engine will turn on. So we've got this right here on the nav ball. This is a green circle with an X through it. That means that our rocket is pointing backwards. Our rocket is pointing backwards in terms of pi. I do that when I do landing. I will go over that in great detail, pi. But we are now pointing backwards. Do you see how we're kind of orbiting in this direction? And our rocket is pointing this direction? Whenever I light this engine, Smithy Potato, I will totally download that. I will totally download that and update my version as well. Thanks for telling me. When I point in this direction, my engine is pointing in that direction. If I burn right now, I'm going to slow down. I'm going to expend my delta V, just like I said before. I expended so much delta V that my situation was landed on the planet, and my situation is now in orbit of the planet, going 2257 meters per second, right? That's going pretty fast. So we expended that delta V to get up here. Now we need to expend a little bit of delta V to get on back home. So I'm going to point backwards, just like this. I am going to... It doesn't even matter where we come down. It doesn't matter where we come down. Yeah, I'm just going to burn retrograde right now. I'm just going to burn all my fuel retrograde. It doesn't matter. Just get home safely, right? No big deal. Let's go ahead and burn all of our delta V out, like this. And look at what's happening to my orbit. Instead of missing the planet, I am now falling towards the planet. I'm getting rid of all this rocket fuel. I would not like to splash, I don't know, Kerbalville with unused rocket fuel. I'd rather slap them on the head with a 6-ton mainsail engine and a bunch of empty fuel tanks. Heaven forbid if there's fuel in there. But we have now de-orbited ourselves because we slowed the craft down. Now instead of 2265, whatever it was we were going, we're going 1766. That's not enough for me to be missing the planet. That means I'm going to hit the planet, and we are going to fall down towards the planet. Let's go ahead and, let's just follow this. Let's just follow this. That he points anywhere is pretty good. What were we talking about? If he does that, will he keep pointing the wrong way for the chat? What does that mean? You really need to mirror your cam. You were pointing opposite ways. No, I just pointed the right way. I just pointed the right way. Like... Oh, I see what you're saying. Like, if I mirror the camera, then when I point this way on my screen, y'all will see it the way... But that's actually a really good idea, MeagleNet. I never even thought of that. I'm such a noob. I'm such a noob. I would probably flip it around. That he points anywhere is pretty good. Yeah, I would probably totally flip it around. That's actually a really good idea. I would have to put the camera on the other side, though. It would completely mess with my setup. I'd have to put the camera over here, because I like it... Like, right now, I'm looking at the game, right? And I'm looking up at the game. I hate it when people are streaming... And they're like looking at it this way. They're playing the game and their camera like has them looking like this and the game's like behind them. I hate that. That gets on my nerves. Stationary orbit. Raven Mac Corylus. Raven Mad Corylus. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. It is possible to get into a geostationary geosynchronous orbit in the game. You just have to get to a certain height at a certain orbital period. Rotation of Kerbal is 6 hours. If your orbit is equatorial and has a period of exactly 6 hours, you will be geostationary. You will be above one point in the land, and as the planet rotates, you will orbit with it like this and stay right above it. That is a possible thing. Let's go ahead and get this done. We are in the atmosphere now. We are falling down. It's going to be nighttime. We are apparently not going to land in the not water. It's OBS capture setting, flip horizontal. Crazy. I've never even thought about that. You can just flip your OBS horizontal. You don't even have to move the camera. There's a setting to flip the image. Oh, to flip the image. Yeah, but wait, hang on. I'll go over that later. I will look into that. That is a good idea. And me looking at my screen and pointing a certain way, I usually look at the camera. And like if I wanted to point at that, I know I can point at the red right there because I'm totally looking at that chat thing and I'm pointing at the red chat message. So I look at my streaming computer over this way. Not water. Yes, Stoddard. We are going to land in the not water. You believe it's called land. Stage it, DOS. Stage it. I guess I will go ahead and, on your computer, chat this way, nav all this way. That's actually not a bad idea. It's just practice. I'm so new to this. Let's go ahead and pop that. We've now deployed our chutes. We don't need that big rocket. We're going to toss in the ocean. You're putting me in danger. You'll be fine. Get over it. You look so concerned. Gav is probably over here. Look at Gav. Everybody's concerned, and Gav is like these freaking noob cadets. Little do they know we're fine. We claim this land and call it not water, as opposed to this land. It's a fruitful place. Ah! Curse your sudden but inevitable betrayal. Oh my gosh. There's our chutes opening up. Fraser Array. Brad the Impaler. Shawing. Who else did I miss? Max Kemma. Max Ridge Kemma. Gold Potato. Guys, thanks for the follows. I have been explaining a lot of stuff. DaSpeak. Chat this way, not chat this way. So we're good to go. I mean, look at what we've learned. We've got this pod into orbit. We've learned what thrust weight is. We've learned what delta V is. We've learned a lot of different things so far, right? We learned the launch profile. We learned some of the staging. We learned the staging commands. I think we should call it your grave. Now everybody seems to be fine. Gav is like, alright, I'm bored because all these cadets are not... Look, every one of these is like a clone of each other. Oh my gosh. Firefly hype indeed. Firefly, one of the best shows. We need to build a Serenity on here. We need to send a message to Nathan Fillion and be like, dude, Nathan, we're gonna like build Serenity on Kerbal Space Program. Would you come and hang out in TeamSpeak with Kerbal Space Academy, please? Thank you. Because he's so freaking cool, dude. Brown coat for life is right, Spartan. Oh my gosh. Can't ever say a leaf on the wind, though. No spoilers, no spoilers. If you don't know it, can't ever say a leaf on the wind. Sploosh. There you go. Sploosh. No spoilers, but leaf on the wind, man. I always want to say it. I always want to say it. All right. They put the Hypnotune. There's a few Serenity replicas floating around. Do eat. Yeah, everybody always